The city of Chicago was always alive with energy, its skyline a jagged crown of steel and glass shimmering against the broad Midwestern sky. For 21-year-old Anna Mitchell, Chicago was home, though she often felt as if she hadn't quite figured out her place in it. A junior at the University of Illinois at Chicago, Anna balanced her coursework and education with a part-time job at a neighborhood coffee shop near her apartment in Lincoln Park. Life was steady, though not without its challenges. Anna had grown up in a working-class family. Her mother was a nurse who worked long shifts, and her father drove trucks across the Midwest. She loved them dearly, but independence had been woven into her life from an early age. College, work, and her small circle of friends kept her busy, and she often moved through her days with routine predictability. But one autumn morning, as the first hints of orange and gold touched the city's trees, Anna's world shifted in ways she never could have predicted. That was the day everything changed. It began with an ordinary bus ride. Anna had stayed up late working on a presentation and nearly missed her morning class. She ran across the street, waving frantically as the number 22 bus slowed to a stop. Breathless, she climbed aboard and found one of the few empty seats toward the back. She didn't notice the man sitting across from her at first, until the bus lurched forward and his sketchbook slid from his lap onto the floor. Anna bent down quickly, picked it up, and handed it back. "Here, you dropped this." The man, probably in his mid-20s, looked surprised. His hands were rough with pencil smudges, and his eyes, kind, if a little weary, met hers with gratitude. "Thanks. I get so caught up drawing, I forget the world exists sometimes." Anna smiled politely, but her eyes flicked curiously toward the sketchbook. He noticed and, with a slight grin, tilted it toward her. Inside were beautifully detailed pencil sketches of city scenes, street vendors, trains rattling along the L tracks, children playing near fountains at Millennium Park. Each image pulsed with life, as though he had captured not just what the city looked like, but how it felt. "They're amazing," Anna said softly. The man shrugged. "It's just how I make sense of things." She didn't think much more of it at the time, but later that day, she would realize this chance encounter was the first ripple in a tide that would sweep through her life. Over the following weeks, Anna began noticing him more often, sometimes on the bus, sometimes sketching near the campus, sometimes just sitting with a cup of coffee at her workplace. His name, she eventually learned, was Michael Turner. He had grown up in Chicago but had left for a few years, serving in the Peace Corps in South America before returning home. Unlike most people their age who seemed consumed by social media and career plans, Michael carried a quiet stillness about him, as if he saw the world through a different lens. One rainy afternoon, when business was slow at the cafe, Michael came in. Anna took his order and handed him his coffee. He hesitated before speaking. "Hey, do you mind if I sit here? I've been working on something, and I think you'd understand it better than most people." Anna blinked in surprise, but gestured for him to sit. He pulled out his sketchbook and flipped to a drawing of a young boy holding a kite against a wide, stormy sky. "It's about change," he explained. "How storms scare us, but they can also carry us higher if we face them." Anna stared at the sketch, the metaphor settling deep in her chest. She had always been cautious, someone who stuck to safe routines. The idea of storms carrying someone higher rather than tearing them down made her wonder if she had been living too carefully. From that moment on, conversations between them grew. Sometimes they discussed small things, music, books, the quirks of Chicago life. Other times, they delved into heavier topics, dreams, fears, the question of what it meant to truly belong. Then came the day of the fire. It was late November, the air brittle with cold. Anna was walking home from the library when she saw smoke curling into the night sky just a few blocks ahead. Sirens wailed, and people crowded the streets. When she reached the source, her heart lurched. It was the community center where she and Michael had recently volunteered to help kids with after-school programs. Flames licked at the building's windows, and firefighters worked frantically to contain the blaze. Panic surged in Anna's chest as she thought of the children who spent their afternoons there. She searched the crowd desperately until she spotted Michael, standing near the barricades, his face pale but resolute. "Everyone's out," he said quickly when he saw her. They evacuated in time. But everything inside, the supplies, the books, the art, it's gone. Anna felt tears sting her eyes. That center wasn't just a building, it was a haven for dozens of children, many from struggling families. Losing it meant losing a safe place that had given them hope. That night, Anna couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the kids' faces, the way they looked up to Michael when he sketched alongside them, or how they beamed when she helped with homework. She realized she couldn't just sit back and do nothing. The next morning, she met Michael at a diner near the burned-down center. "We have to rebuild it," she said firmly. He looked at her, eyes heavy with doubt. "It takes money.
Time.
Organization. We're just two people." "But two people can start something," Anna replied. "We can rally others. The community cares. We just have to give them a reason to act." And so began the hardest, most transformative months of Anna's life. They started small, flyers printed on Anna's old laptop, shared around the neighborhood. Social media posts calling for volunteers. Coffee cans on counters in local businesses for spare change. At first, progress was slow. People sympathized but seemed hesitant to believe two young adults could lead such an effort. But Anna refused to give up. She spent evenings after work visiting churches, schools, and community leaders, explaining their vision. Michael sketched posters and murals that captured hearts, reminding people of what the center meant. Slowly, momentum grew. Neighbors offered time. Local businesses donated supplies. Musicians volunteered for a benefit concert. Before long, the idea of rebuilding wasn't just Anna and Michael's dream, it was a shared mission. Through it all, Anna discovered a strength she hadn't known she possessed. She gave speeches despite her fear of public speaking. She coordinated schedules, balanced budgets, and rallied tired volunteers. Michael was there too, steady and creative, but he often reminded her that she was the one fueling everyone's belief. "You don't even see it, do you?" he said one night as they painted walls in the half-rebuilt center. "You're the reason people keep showing up. You changed the story from loss to hope." By spring, the new community center opened its doors. It wasn't just a replica of what had been lost, it was better. Brighter classrooms, a small library, a room dedicated to art, and even a mural Michael painted on the front wall, depicting children flying kites against a stormy sky that gave way to sunlight. On opening day, families filled the building. Kids laughed and tugged their parents inside, exploring the new space with wide-eyed excitement. Anna stood near the entrace's "I love you"